Hi, I'm Marcus, and I'm part of Aname.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm also part of Aname. So, podcast, Marcus.
Yes, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. No.
You don't know? I hope you have some answers.
Yeah. No, but I feel like we wanna showcase people what actually goes through, this whole process working with Anjunabeats, and also showing people what this is really about.
Yeah.
It's so much more than just like a DJ job, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making an album. We've done it before.
Yeah.
And sometimes it seems like this easy task in many ways. It's kind of like sometimes it's perceived as like you make a couple songs or you make an album and then it's like it just appears and there's like there's a cool artwork and there's like it doesn't. We just wanted to, for me at least, I just wanted to showcase like what really goes behind the process. Our team at Anjunabeats, agents, like what do people do? How does a tour come about? Like the artwork, all of this process. It's like a huge undertaking, and it's so much more than just making, an album which is like 12 songs.
It's like small part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's for me. I thought this was a cool concept, and this obviously is going to be the podcast part of it, but having multiple ways of showing it and using, not only podcasts as a medium, but also like social media. We could do, we talk about YouTube. Really showing these trips.
TikTok.
Oh. I don't know about that. We'll try.
Start dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first and like most important part is to who we are doing this for.
Yeah,
because in the past experience, I have never come across something so unique as the Anjunabeats family.
Yeah.
It's worldwide. It's not just. Like London, it's really worldwide, and it's kind of amazing how a label have managed to, pull so many people together from all parts of the world. You go to India, there's someone there with a sign, or. Brazil, Australia,
even like American cities, like Anjunafamily, New York, or Anjunafamily, Texas.
Yeah.
It's like a real community thing.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's cool. Like I agree with that. Just giving all of these people like a real insight to how Anjunabeats really is and how it is to make an album with them. So they can get to know the people also behind sort of all the music that they love. So I think that was really good. But maybe we set the scene a little bit. Like I want to talk about sort of growing up. We obviously know each other. Trauma. We've known each other for what, 20 years now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, growing up.
Yeah.
How was it, Marcus? How was growing up here?
Growing up was actually great. My dad was always playing the guitars, and I was like, that's kind of boring. There's the synth over here, and it sounds much more cooler, right? So that was kind of like how it started, and then I think over time you kind of found these softwares like Techno EJ. I actually released a song with Techno EJ.
Oh no! Okay.
Yeah. And then I slowly progressed from that into like Fruity Loop, Reason, and so forth.
Yeah.
And I kind of think I feel that this was my purpose.
Yeah.
When I remember clearly 6th grade in school, where they were asking people, so what do you want to do? And most kids was like, firefighter, police, lawyer, doctor. And I was like, I want to be a free human being. And yeah, so that was it, kind of.
Yeah.
And what about you then?
I think it's like a lot of similarities. My dad also played in a band, was sort of like more of the Creedence Clearwater, Toto. Yeah, really cool. He played the drums though, sang a little bit. No, I grew up like north of Oslo, small town, nothing really going on.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. There's snow, you know. No, it was like really safe, really cool. Like my parents have always been great to me, but there was always this part of me that was like, I don't know, I just need to get out of here. There's more to sort of the world and what I want to do than what I can find here. So, I mean, and I think that's like when music sort of when I got introduced to music, it was through obviously the rock and that stuff, and that kind of grew into, I guess, the next steps where sort of my best friend's sister, you know, who's studying in Oslo, the big city, you know, coming back from, you know, uni and brought like vinyls. Yeah. And it was like Chemical Brothers, and it was like Astral Projection, Prodigy, Orbital, and we're like, what is this sorcery? You know, like never been exposed to any of it because it wasn't available.
No.
And that's kind of like where we like, you know, I need to like, how can I make this? Kind of like, what is this? And that's kind of like how it started for me.
I mean, there's always that one person that like brings you that one record where you're like, what is this new? I remember my cousin was at that time living in Miami. And he came back with the records with this deep house. And I was blown away. I was like, wow, what is this sound? I never heard anything like that. And before that, you know, I found some like, you know, Scooter records, Quicksilver, all of these classic German acts. And but it always starts with someone showing you something.
Yeah, it's not weird, because I think about this sometimes, and we talked about this many times. It was like, imagine if I wasn't friends with this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what would I do? Like, it would like change the whole course of my life. And there's like one record on the table. I remember the record 2, Air, All I Need, vinyl, and it's not really even an electronic record.
No,
it's like a pop record in many ways. And I heard the record, I was like, this is so, like, it's magical. There's something here, because it has like this weird sort of analog synth thing going in behind the pop song. I was like, this is interesting. Saw the music video on MTV when they were actually making, you know, showing music. And I was like, I'm gonna get the album. Got the album. And it just like blew my mind. It's like, is this even possible? And from there, you know, obviously, there's this Tiesto record, some of Tiesto become like, and there's Tiesto, and there's like.
First time hearing Tiesto, Ferry Corsten.
No, these guys, you know.
Luke Cable, James Holden,
Sasha, Involver. Yeah, you know, it's exactly what it is, you know.
The best stuff.
But yeah, it is strange how just like one record changed the course of your whole entire life. You know, it's not many years later we sort of met, you know.
No. It's
just like very scary. You know, so uni years, we're kind of already there.
Yeah.
Did you study? Let people know. Did you go to school? Were you a good kid in school?
No, I was terrible in school because I was so bored by it.
Yeah.
I went to a marketing course first. That was really boring. And then I went to a sound technology course where they kind of teach you how sound works and stuff like that. And there was this teacher, he was supposed to be a professor, he knew everything, yada, 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 yada. And the first day of school, he's like, yeah, we just built this new studio, and it got this mega computer, which, you know, back then was like nothing, but but it was a really expensive computer. And I started to, you know, load effects on chains and stuff, and it just started to completely freak out. And I was like, there's something wrong with your computer? And he was like, no, it's been like this for 1 year. I was like, I went into the settings, and I was like, this software can only use 20% of this CPU. So I felt like I had to teach the teachers quite early about how software works on a computer. So I left that quite early, and I just never really looked back.
No, for sure. No, for me it was I guess that kind of ties back to my parents, or at least my father was very much in line with this, because he saw that I was restless, that I needed to sort of get out,
play football,
do something. And then it was like, I told him about this music. I was probably like 16, 17. I was like, I just like this music. I want to like experience the world. And he was like, yeah, it's fine. You can do whatever. I'll support you, but I have one sort of like rule, if I'm going to help you out here. As you finish uni, like just finish it. I don't really care what it is, but just have something. So when you like, I guess from his point of view, it was like when you fail, or that you get tired of this. When you get tired of all of this, you just come back and you have something to fall back on. That was his whole thing. But he was like, it was cool. So I did finish a degree in sales and marketing. But as soon as that was done, I moved down to Sweden, man. So and that was. I guess that was a whole another story how we kind of met.
I mean, it's kind of that's kind of scary as well.
Yeah.
Imagine if you would have come down.
Yeah.
So the story is that I knew a common friend of Thomas.
Yeah.
Nicholas Harding.
Nicholas Harding.
Yeah.
Cheers to Nicholas.
Yeah, cheers to Nicholas. And. He basically was a really good friend of mine, and I used to host these home parties. And one day I had a party, and I invited him, and he said,
"Was it your birthday party or something like
that?"
Yeah. It was something where like that, because I remember, because I was in Copenhagen at Nicholas's place.
Exactly. Yeah. And he texted me, "Hey, can I bring this friend of mine?" And I think at that time you were called DJ Bill.
Something like that. I don't remember. Something like that, probably. Yeah, we were running like pirate radios.
Cool. So you came over to my place, and we just instantly hooked up. It was like a great night.
Yeah, it was really.
And then we started talking on old school MSN.
Yeah. That was good.
That was so great back then. And then, like a couple weeks after, I was supposed to play in Linköping, which in Sweden we call it rave shopping. That was all the raves was there.
I remember that.
And I think it was a show together with Eddie Halliwell.
Yeah, and Oscar Can too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great party.
Yeah, great party.
And the party ended up with us dancing on top of the bar. It was really wild. and since then we've been really tight.
It was where, like, I remember the week. At first, I remember the first time we met, because we had that really instant connection. And I remember because I was in Oslo at the time, finishing up my degree. When I came down, and it was like I struggled a little bit to find my place, because I thought like moving out of like my small hometown city into a big city like Oslo, at least that would give me some inspiration. But I was struggling to find my way there. I felt like everybody was kind of like, oh yeah, like we don't want to deal with that. Like you have to prove yourself. It was like a little bit difficult for me to find my spot there. And then coming to Helsingborg, I did like, it was just like everyone was like so into like, who are you and what do you do? And I was like, this is like the greatest place ever, So there was like 2 weeks later, I came down and went to Linköping, like epic weekend. I think it was like 2 months later, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna move. I'm moving down. Like, I don't care, I don't care. But the plan was, and you know this, but the plan was 6 months, hiatus, just party, have fun, then go to school. I was going to go to San Francisco. I got into college, all of that uni thing. I'm going to take a bachelor degree in something. And ended up.
Then I came and
ruined
ruined the plan.
Yeah, just forgot to leave.
Oops.
Oops. No, I think that's kind of when. I guess that's kind of where the music started to happen for us too.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, and then we started like, I got an apartment, you moved back, and you moved in.
Yeah. So me and Thomas was actually living.
Yeah, imagine that.
Together.
Yeah.
And we each had this small bedroom with like a combined bed and studio table.
Yeah.
And all we did all day long was just music.
Yeah. I remember the DJ setup in the living room.
Oh yeah.
It was like the greatest setup ever. I think it was like 3 or 4 turntables and CDJs.
Those
and
small tiny
yeah. Those
with the small wheel and stuff.
Yeah, what was it called? Like CDJ 100 S?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when the jet, when you could.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that was crazy cool.
High tech.
Yeah. No, I don't know. What do you remember from those days, like living together? Do you remember?
I mean, the first thing is we were really broke.
Oh,
extremely
terrible.
broke. And we were scraping on pasta, omelettes, all kinds of really cheap things.
Yeah.
But I remember it's the period of my life where it was like the most free.
Yeah.
Because we had time to think through what we actually want to do.
Yeah.
And it's also where the kind of the philosophy of what we do kind of built up to that point, because we had time to actually sit down and talk for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And we quickly realized that, well, none of us really wants to be part of that mouse wheel, you know?
No.
And it's also about, at that time, it was such a good social network.
Yeah.
It was a period of time where you could just call a friend.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Tuesday. Do you want to party?
Yeah.
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 I'll
come.
Yeah. So
sure.
that's one of the best periods of my life. Yeah.
I agree. Because we talk about this a lot, and I think it's easy to get nostalgic about these things. And there's obviously. We were dirt poor. Don't forget how poor we were. We didn't have any money. No. I remember it. We would do any local DJ show, and it would just anything we could get across, and we would take that money, pay rent, and whatever was left, that was beers and pasta.
Yeah.
And that was it. But it was simple. It was super simple, and just remember sitting on the balcony listening to Danny Howell's Miami over and over again, and just envisioning what do we want to do, who do we want to work with, who do we want to what we want to achieve, all of these things. It was yes, like I said, we actually had time to do these things, and then just randomly that turning into a party on a Monday or Tuesday, and it's 5 in.the, the neighbors knock on the door, could you keep it, it's Tuesday, come on, work,
Okay.
Or sorry, I forgot, it was Tuesday, it was kind of like that vibe.
I mean, I also had this terrible job back then.
Oh yeah, I remember,
as a newspaper boy. So I woke up 3:30 every morning, went downtown, dragged out the newspapers, stood outside saying punktesse to every person passing me. I remember I was so cold and so hungry that I took some of the newspapers and put in my shoes. I was just freezing. I just had that feeling that I have to make enough music so I can escape this as quickly as I can.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember? I don't know if it's for you, but for me, it was there was this turning point. It was this turning point, and it was again. It was this was actually a DVD. It was Global Underground something DVD.
Oh yeah.
It was with Andy, what's their name? Horsfield and the founders behind Global Underground at the time, which was like the hottest thing. They made like a documentary style thing about Global Underground and their sort of city series.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that, and I was seeing like, oh, there's Dave Seaman breakdancing in Pasha in Buenos Aires. I'm like, this guy is living life. This is just me. Like, that's what I want to do. You know, he plays the music he loves, and he gets to breakdance at Pasha in Argentina. It sounds great. I want to do that. And I remember after we watched that, I was like, how can we get music to these people?
Yeah.
How can we do it? Like, and we're like, we couldn't find like any demo emails or nothing like that. But it was something we figured, like, well, his name is Andy.
Yeah.
Like, so it's probably Andy at Global Underground, something, right? And I remember doing it, putting it out, and just I'll send it. Hopefully it doesn't come. I come back, and it was 2 days later. It was just a contract. He just replied with a contract. This was Moog. I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
I remember that was a turning point. That was crazy, but because like when we started like this music thing, we never thought like we could.
No.
Nobody was really doing it. Like
I mean, it wasn't a job back then.
No, it was like
it was like a hobby thing, and then your parents would be like, so what are you actually doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I make sounds on this laptop, and you know, like, it was the time where dance music just started to become something super serious.
Yeah. I also think there was obviously professional DJs around the world.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not like that, but we weren't exposed to that.
No.
Here in Sweden and Norway, like there was nobody doing that. I didn't know.
There wasn't no house mafia. Or
There was like nothing like that.
nothing,
Like none of that. It was just like weird, strange people who kind of liked some vinyls that they could find that somebody sent from the UK or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was like a community of very few people who was really into it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like where we got attached to the whole thing because we just loved the community part of it.
Yeah.
It was like, and I remember like, because you could go to any bar or club who would do this thing, and it didn't really matter who you were, white, black, whatever you were or felt, or you know, it didn't matter. Like everybody was like fine with that, and you could just be free, right?
Well, I think one of the first shows I played, I remember coming in to the club, and I was like, wow, everyone's so nice, to each other. There's no one aggressive here. They're just hugging and having a great time. What is going on?
It started. You could talk to anybody. It was such a nice vibe. It was like no aggression. It was just like really cool. I think that's kind of like where we, got connected to.
That is the core of Anjunabeats. As soon as you enter a party, you just feel like connected to people. You can walk up to anyone. Yeah. And it's sometimes during our shows, you know, we go down on the floor.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like you don't feel like you're a stranger.
No, this is it's very good.
You're part of them.
I agree. And everybody's so friendly.
Yeah.
I think that sort of caught my eye. Like even, like we, you know, as you said, we could go out in the crowd and like people just talk to you. You walk up this really strange vibe, and like people will give you these like bracelets and stuff like that. That's really nice. It's really nice. It's super nice. So. Okay, we lived together. We established that. And we survived that. Let's talk. Those days. That's another episode. Let's talk about I guess like what happens next, because I think it would be cool for those who don't know us, just establish a little bit like the ground rules, like where did we come from, here we are. So we did all of that, lived together. What happens?
What then? I mean, we kind of went on our separate paths.
Yeah.
I moved to Slovakia, and back then I released some songs on Size, Armada, Spinning, so forth, and you know, I kind of like. I think we like kind of like went on our separate paths.
Yeah.
And then we, but there was always some connection between what we were doing.
Yeah, we never like really like we'd still work. Like we still work on songs together, and then like we'd support each other. Like it was always the same. It was just like living in different countries, and you would like do your thing, and I would do my thing, and it was just. But it was still like, it was not like. I don't know, it was just a natural thing to do. We had to figure out like what we wanted to do, I guess. And it's obviously life happens, you know, you meet like a girl and like this girl wants to go there and
let's go there.
I want to go to California and you want to go there. You know, it's always going to be.
Yeah. So for me, I met a girl, I moved to Slovakia, stayed there for 3 years. And at that time, my solo career kind of blew off, like it just exploded.
Yeah.
And I remember touring every weekend, and I came home one day and I was like, what happened? It's just 3 years like this.
Yeah.
And I still don't, I still have pictures of me in clubs where I'm like, where was this?
Yeah.
I have no idea where it was.
There's a funny story about that because I remember talking about this. Like, we're gonna talk more about this later, but we were talking about this touring life we did because I did a similar story. It was kind of like that, traveling, California, all that, and it was like Brazil, South America, and it was like we were talking about South America specifically, and I was like, this place in Brazil, it's amazing there, and you should go there. I was like, and you said I should go there. I was like, dude, you've been there.
Yeah.
I remember you going there because I was in this city in Brazil and you were in this city in Brazil, and we were talking about how weird is it. Like, and you were like, that's right. I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah. I think for me, part of this making the album sort of thing here and documenting it and showing the insights, it's also partly me wanting to really remember what's going on. So we can sit there for once. So when we're old and gray, we can sit there and remember when we went to this city in Brazil. Yeah. Oh yes, I actually do remember that.
I was there. No, but I just think the older you get as well, you don't take things for granted.
For sure.
I mean, back then it was like, oh, in New York, I'll come back in 3 months. And now, you know, after the pandemic and so forth, you're like,
I might not.
Maybe I actually won't.
Yeah.
Like, and I have no pictures or,
Yeah.
you know, it's very strange.
And even that, like how I feel when I'm here now, like remembering those things, like what we talked about, was I happy or I sad? Like getting to like really remember those things, it's gonna be cool to look back on. Because we had this talk when we played Mirage last, or that was in July, last year. I was like, I haven't been here for like what, 6 years?
5 years.
5, 6 years. And we used to come here like
all the time.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times a year at least. I was like, wow, this city's changed. I can't remember anything about how I felt back then. So it's gonna be really cool. So moving around, like, so obviously Slovakia, we did, I was staying here in Helsingborg. I had this as a base. I was in California like 2-3 months every year working on music. We did like touring. I was a lot in South America. When did you decide that I want to go back to Helsingborg, Sweden?
I decided, at that time, I lived 3 years in the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's right.
And like, my solo career at that point, this is 2007, 2008, it's falling apart. the whole EDM, you know, progressive housing that I was part of.
Yeah.
You know, Revealed Records and so forth.
Yeah.
My career was like really slowly falling apart.
Yeah.
And I remember one point was like, no one have emailed me for 1 week.
Yeah.
I need some change.
Yeah.
And you know, with that, like you know, your career falls apart. Usually, everything bad comes at
of course.
once, like always. So my relationship collapsed, and career collapsed, private life collapsed, more or less. And I was like, I need a change. I need a and my favorite football team just got relegated.
Wonderful.
So I emailed the club director and I was like, hey, we could do some changes there.
Yeah.
And he was like a really great guy. He said, yeah, just come.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I moved back, started there. You started there as well. And we kind of had a taste of how to say civil life.
Yeah.
Where you like wake up Monday morning, 7 a.m., go to a meeting and so forth. But I think it was a great introduction to that life because earlier from that point, I've had total freedom. Yeah. And I couldn't really process how to like start a super serious job, and this job was kind of free, creative. But like till that point, I've been changing my sound so many times. You know, from trance to progressive to electro house or whatever it was called. To you know, touching EDM sound, and I think I couldn't really find what I wanted to do. Because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And you know, there was so many people telling you from left and right, make this sound, sound like Avicii, sound like Swedish House Mafia, do this, do that. And at that point, when you're so young and vulnerable, you easily start to adapt to that. Rather than to say, no, hold on, I'll do my own thing here.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. I think it's also easy. You just lose yourself in the whole thing, and it doesn't like it. When you go to, like, you talked about it, but like I remember also going in LA, going to writers' camps, and it was like a factory thing, and I just felt like, you know, you write the first verse, you write the drop, you do that, and it's gonna sound like this song, particularly this song. And it just felt like, well, I might as well do whatever else. Like it was just soul-drenchingly, it was like the worst feeling ever.
It kills that original passion. And that passion from us sitting on the balcony, talking about what do we want to do.
So that's exactly what happens. Exactly happens with me too. It was like, I had it with this because this was not what we set out to try to do. So it's just a realization. It's like, this is not what I tried to do. Why am I doing it? What's the point of it? I might as well do something else. Stop this nonsense. It's nonsense. Like let's use all of this force of energy. Take a break. And I think that was the best thing that could have potentially happened. Like, it's just stop it.
When was the day you realized I need to change this?
I don't know if there was a particular. I think it was just sort of happened gradually. You know, obviously we had, like, I did the song with Cascade. I did records with like Sultan and Ned and Dirty Vegas. Like, I was doing all of these songs with like artists and friends that I really, really like. but I was doing records that I didn't necessarily really like. And I was just doing them because my record label at the time, or whatever it was, told me to do this thing because that's the only way they would book you to this festival. Or it would book you the tour. You can't book a tour if you don't have this song. And it was just, all right. And then you just like end up, and then one day it's just, I got a record deal to make an album, and I was excited. Finally, I can make my album the way I want it to sound, and I was really proud of it. I made the songs, really cool. And the label goes, well, you should probably do more like, can we make these songs sound a little bit more like that song you did with Cascade? Because that was so good. Like, but I'm like,
I'm more than this.
I think there's more to this than this. I think I don't want to be like everyone. Like Alesso is Alesso, Cascade is Cascade, and that's the reason why they're so big is because they do them.
Exactly.
I cannot do them. No. And it was just like, if I can't do this album, I can't do anything. I shouldn't do it. And obviously, my family, Norway, I've been away for
200
years. It felt like something. It felt like that. I felt old, for 10, 11 years. And I've been traveling. Only time I was home was Christmas. I was like, I don't work Christmas. I always go home Christmas, right? Obviously.
We don't touch it.
No, we don't do that. Still don't do that. Yeah. But that was for me. Like, I've been away for like so long, and like this is obviously not worth it anymore.
It's kind of strange because you are a stranger wherever you are going.
Yeah.
Because in the process of doing those albums and so forth, you feel like you're doing something, you are there, but your heart is not really there.
Yeah.
When you come home, you're the stranger again.
Yeah.
When you go to your parents' place, you're the stranger again because you've been gone for so long.
Yeah.
And so slowly you're like creating this massive family.
Yeah.
Outside your own home base.
Yeah. Yeah, home is like everywhere. Instead of that, it's not somewhere, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that's also one of the best things.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't be able to call someone in Melbourne or Chicago or wherever and say, hey, I actually have a friend here. And my local Swedish friends are like, what? I'm like,
But you know them better than your old friends.
Yeah.
So that's like coming out. Like when you start, like I remember this. I started to know the flight attendants better than I knew. Like my friend, I would talk to them more. I would be on the same shift because we would travel. So they went off. I would do the show and come back, and they would be the crew coming back again. So we were like starting to get friends. And I was like, oh my god, what am I doing here? Like I spend more time with flight attendants than I do with my own father or like my mother, right? So I think that was me. I was like, all right, my parents, they're not getting younger. You only have so much time. This music thing, I need to figure it out. Let's take a break. Let's build something else. Moving back, obviously meeting my girl and all of that. Everything timing happens, and that's kind of where we go. But so we've done all that. We take a break. We do different kind of things. Start building, different. We started record labels.
Yeah.
We started we never left music in a way. No. We kind of always kept to it because it was a passion, but it was more
hobby.
Take a step back and figure out what you need to do and find somebody who believes enough in this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where aname comes in.
Yeah.
And obviously aname means to adapt in Old Norwegian. So if everybody knows that. But I think it's just such a good name for the project we're doing because we've been these kind of changeable animals that just kind of adapted our whole life. And now it's kind of, we're really full circling back to the original idea of what this is. Having fun. Yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Quote us on that. So the philosophy, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's touch base on that. What's the point here?
We can we can start with imagine sitting on that balcony. Because I think that's where it really starts.
Yeah.
The philosophy of doing something unique our way.
Yeah.
And working with the best people we possibly can.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, working with people we love.
Yeah.
Because so many times we work with great people.
Yeah.
But it's not the right.
But it's a transactional.
Yeah. Business.
Yeah.
Pure
business. Yeah.
I think that the whole philosophy with aname is do whatever we like doing it, and having the best possible showcase of it in visuals, you know, DJ mixes, shows, and so forth.
Yeah.
It's the final product of almost 20 years of experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's what makes it different this time.
Hopefully.
It is going to be, it feels so much different. We think we're a way better platform this time, a little bit wiser.
Slightly smarter.
A little bit smarter, hopefully. No, but I think it's also, part of us is like growing up. We grew up now. We're sort of growing up.
We are so boring.
Yeah. No, but we are sometimes, I guess. No, but it is about ego is gone. Finally. Almost. Gareth and the team, Anjuna team, probably not agree at all of times. But most of the ego is gone, you know. And realizing the reason why we do this is to bring value to other people's here. Like, we want to bring this music to people and give them that. And we get in return, you know, the joy of seeing them enjoy it. That's the price out.
There's nothing more amazing playing your own record.
No.
And seeing 1,000 people sing to it.
No, of course.
And you're like, that record we created inside of our heads. And it somehow got translated on a computer.
Sure.
And that, from the computer, was spread worldwide through zeros and ones.
Yeah.
And suddenly, there's thousands of people singing what came through that.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the best part of it is gratitude, Dockyards, above and beyond playing main stage, obviously, headlining it. The whole family, the whole Anjunabeats crew, a little bit backstage there. Gratitude comes on. Everybody from the top dog, the MD, to the label manager, to, you know, label assistant, everyone is singing gratitude together. Like, it was like, I get goosebumps talking about it. I was like, that's what it's all about. Because every single part of the whole equation, what makes our ideas through the ones and zeros get to the universe, and all those steps, all of them were like equally into it, proud of it, had their part of it. It would never happen without that. No. And that was the culmination of the whole thing coming together, all the way from Paavo in the sauna in his cabin to that moment, and everybody got to share it. It was just such a, it was such a good feeling, and that's the reason why we do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a whole experience. Yeah. This is the first time we are doing something that, like, truly touches people. Yeah. And we feel that back. You know? Yeah. You can feel it. Yeah. And that drives you so much forward.
Yeah. Yeah. It is literally the driving factor is providing that people can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's like we're there for them instead of the other approach, which is like the superstar DJ kind of approach where they come for me.
You need a private jet.
No, yeah, exactly.
Skin jacket.
Yeah, but I'm at the club, so you get to come for me. Like, no, I'm there for you. Yeah. That's the whole thing, right? Yeah, and we're making music for you, you know. So I think that's just a massive thing, and I think that's also what we really want to show people with this and doing these podcasts, the YouTubes, and whatever thing we're gonna do. TikTok.
Don't forget TikTok.
Show Laura, our PM, the work she does. It's amazing. All these details. Gareth, our label manager, the poor man, you know.
It's the poor man. Actually, you should show them the...
Yeah, we'll zoom in on this.
Yeah.
Here's Gareth.
So we have like a picture of Gareth here.
Yeah.
Gareth is the label manager of Anjunabeats.
Yeah. I'll put it here.
He's the guy that we work with, the absolutely closest.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. But we also have an amazing team.
Yeah, we do. So I think, showcasing what they do, like what actually comes into the process, what these people do. And I think by doing so, we add value to the music as well, to really understand what goes into it, because it's not only like you and me and whoever we collaborate with. It is also them who makes it possible. It wouldn't happen this way without them. Like everything from agent to travel agents, Anya fixing, you know.
Everything.
Every
detail.
We're just the lucky idiots here, really.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, showing this is, as you said, it's supposed to be fun, and we want to show that. But also the sort of downside of it, because it is tiring. Some of it is tiring. Some of it is hard.
I'd rather be tired.
Yeah.
The airport and some office space, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna be tired at one point.
Yeah,
anyway. It's part of life.
You will be tired anyway. I mean,
yeah.
We're not 15 anymore.
No, but even a 15-year-old will be tired doing this.
Yeah, but I feel like we're finally doing what we're supposed to.
And when we're doing what you're supposed to, it's not that tiring.
It's not a job.
No, we're not doing. We're lucky to be able to do this. For sure. Like, it is crazy, because I think about that a lot. Going from what we did, going back to Norway, going back to Sweden, stopping all of that, taking that step back, and now, like, having that, for me, it was like a real moment. Because I was done with music, as like I didn't want to make music anymore, because it just felt like completely tainted.
And then I came again.
but it was just like here's Marcus. How about this idea? Oh, okay, let's see. Set us in the studio, and there's like these moments where he goes, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, I cannot do all, even though you're good at business, you're good at marketing, you're good at whatever. We did all of these cool things outside the music space, but you come back and you feel it. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, it feels natural.
Yeah, and then you meet Gareth, you meet Pavel, and they share it, and they will encourage you. In every single way, and put the platform for you to be able to do that. And that makes all the difference. Yeah,
because you're finally working with people who truly care about you.
Yeah.
And that's the whole different at Anjunabeats.
Yeah, I think so.
You actually care for as an artist.
Yeah.
And as a human being.
Yeah. And I also believe like the final sort of spice to all this that ties everything together is obviously timing.
Yeah.
Life timing, you know, family, kids, cats.
Cats are important here.
Where do you?
Important.
Finances.
Yeah.
You know, there's all these different things, and that's the timing thing. And when the world spins and, you know, it conspires sometimes against you, this time it just sort of perfectly aligned.
It did.
With everything.
Yeah.
And now we're here. Making an album.
We are.
We're making an album.
We're making an album.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect ending to episode 1.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, and thank you to Uppsala here in Helsingborg that let us borrow this beautiful space.
Yeah, beautiful space. Yeah. See you next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Okay.
That wasn't too bad.
No. Now change of